Crossing Jordan is an American television crime drama series that aired on NBC from September 24, 2001 to May 16, 2007. It stars Jill Hennessy as Jordan Kavanaugh, MD, a crime-solving forensic pathologist employed in the Massachusetts office of the chief medical examiner. The show used an ensemble cast approach that featured a group of Jordan's co-workers and police detectives assigned to the various cases. Its roster of central characters was created by Tim Kring, who also developed its score format. The title refers to both the name of the main character, who is commonly shown as crossing others, especially authority figures, to learn what she wants to know, and the biblical metaphor of the ancient Hebrews crossing the Jordan River, commonly used in spiritual songs to represent death and passage to the afterlife. During the first 2 seasons, the series used a gimmick whereby Jordan and her retired police detective father Maximilian Max Kavanaugh role-play the events leading up to that episode's murder, which were depicted by showing Jordan playing the part of the victim or suspect in a recreation of the scene. The idea being that such role-playing would help Jordan to figure out the circumstances of the crime, like a criminal profiler. This element of the series was mostly dropped when Howard left the series as a regular. However, there were instances of Jordan role-playing with other characters, such as Woody and Macy. After 6 seasons and 117 episodes on May 16, 2007, the series was cancelled by NBC. Cast and characters. Top billed: 1 promoted to the position during the first season, 2 introduced during season 2 and added top billing in the first episode of season 3, 3 promoted to the position during the second season. During the first, she was an intake administrator. 4 began appearing in the opening credits beginning with the 4th season. 5 began appearing in the opening credits in the middle of the 5th season, left the cast early in the 6th. 6 became a recurring guest star for the 3rd and 4th seasons. Main characters drive. Jordan Kavanaugh, MD, a forensic pathologist in the Boston Medical Examiner's office who solves crimes during the course of investigations. Jordan is emotionally scarred by her mother's murder when she was a child, indicated by significant trust issues that, until recently, severely limited her relationships with men. At the end of the 6th and final season, Jordan told Detective Hoyt that she loved him. She attended University of Massachusetts Amherst and Tufts University School of Medicine. Dr. Garrett Macy, the chief medical examiner and Jordan's boss. Macy must deal with Jordan's erratic behavior as well as his confused family. He has a teenage daughter, Abby, but is divorced from his wife, and his own personal demons. He is a recovering alcoholic. Garrett has an affinity for jazz. He has been known to have had romantic entanglements with grief counselor Lily Lebowski, Ada Renee Walcott, Charlie Davis, and his one-time wife, Maggie Warner. Garrett admitted to his drinking problem after finding out his daughter, Abby, had become addicted to heroin upon dropping out of college and becoming involved with another heroin addict. He is also allergic to strawberries and peanuts. Dr. Mahesh Bug Vijayaraghavan Satan Ariana Murphy, a brilliant but shy forensic entomologist of Indian ancestry from Liverpool. He has feelings for Lily which, until the final episode of Season 5, were not reciprocated. In the beginning of Season 6, with the cancellation of Lily's wedding, his relationship with Lily is beginning to move forward. However, things may be complicated by Lily's unexpected pregnancy with her once-to-be husband, Jeffrey. Bug has since taken it upon himself to make Lily move in with him and support her and the baby. In an episode called Post Hoc, near the end of the final season, Bug disappears without a trace, to the great consternation of his colleagues. Dr. Macy makes inquiries and learns that Bug is being held incommunicado by the Department of Homeland Security, on suspicion of being a terrorist. He is finally released after an interrogation that apparently included waterboarding, and is left deeply shaken by the experience. Lily Lebowski. Lily begins the series as an intake secretary, with romantic feelings for her boss. She wins Garrett over, but he breaks up with her to work things out with his ex-wife. During season 2, Bug becomes interested in her. She earns a promotion to become the officer's grief counselor, but resigns in season 6 after accepting her boyfriend's marriage proposal. By the end of the series, she breaks up with the boyfriend and moves in with Bug, after finding out she was pregnant with her ex's baby. Dr. Nigel Townsend, a wisecracking British criminologist with an ambiguous personal life. He claimed to like girls, and had a girlfriend, yet there was some speculation that he might be bisexual. Often known for his dry humor and knowledge of everything from coffee to textiles, Nigel had run away from the Royal Navy, in which he had served as a counterintelligence officer. Nigel is sometimes thought to have feelings for Jordan, because of willingness to do whatever she asks despite the possibility of his losing his job as consequence. He was also not on speaking terms with his father, who still lives in England, until some time before the episode, Murder in the Rue Morgue, in which he mentioned to Jordan he was glad he and his father are back in touch and he regrets having had no contact with him for so long. Dr. Townsend's relations with his father continue to be very rocky. However, in one episode early into the series it was mentioned that he had a tattoo of Betty Boop on his left buttock, but this was never later confirmed or denied. He is known for his technical savvy, and his use of the computer often leads to important clues. Detective Woodrow Wilson, Woody Hoyt, a police detective, originally from Wisconsin. Unlike his colleagues, he typically differs with Jordan when she takes an interest in his cases. She initially resists his romantic overtures, preferring to remain friends, e.g., on her birthday, Woody gave her a diamond ring, which she refused. Premiered in the episode Wrong Place, Wrong Time, he became a regular in season 4. Many fans considered this a big step in the right direction for their relationship, but a recovering Woody turned her down, believing her declaration of romantic feelings to be motivated by pity. When a case took him to Las Vegas, he started a flirtatious relationship with Sam Marquez, based on events which happened in season 4 episode of Las Vegas, History of Violins. The relationship seems to be off, although he was apparently invited by Sam to Delinda Deline's wedding. He has a younger brother, Calvin, a recovering alcoholic and drug addict who is always getting into trouble. Other top-billed characters: Maximilian Max Kavanaugh, Jordan's father, an ex-cop turned bar owner, who disappeared in the finale of season 3 and reappeared in the episode It Happened One Night. Ken Howard's appearance in the show was changed from regular cast to guest star. Dr. Trey Sanders, a medical examiner working on a grant, who left after the first season. Since his departure was not directly explained, many have assumed he left when the funding for his grant ended. Dr. Elaine Duchamps, a medical examiner who joined the team in season 2, often butting heads with Jordan and Garrett. Initially, it appeared she was there to take over management of the coroner's office from Macy. She dies about halfway through the second season from an Escherichia coli infection during the episode Perfect Storm. Dr. Peter Winslow, a recovering drug addict medical examiner who appeared in seasons 2 and 3 and simply disappeared without explanation. Nigel makes a reference to Peter covering his shift in Thin Ice. Detective Tallulah Lou Simmons first appeared in season 5, when she was assigned to work with Detective Hoyt on some of the psychological issues he endured while serving on the force. Since then, Lou became a frequent collaborator with the ME's office on cases and struck up a relationship with Hoyt. It is not known how she dealt with Woody's long-distance relationship with Sam Marquez, but in the episode 33 Bullets, she was killed after being shot during a Boston riot. Recurring characters: Darren A. Walcott, the district attorney who constantly clashed with Jordan. She also had a romantic relationship with Garrett Macy, but it ended when she had an affair with her ex-husband and became pregnant. She returned later in season 4. Matt Seeley, a somewhat misogynistic detective who was the son of a newspaper mogul. He had a tendency to be insensitive and not to think before he spoke, subsequently annoying the characters in the show. He had shown particular interest in Lily Lebowski, and the relationship was being tentatively explored, but Seeley was seen less and less in season 5. As Lily's relationship with Brandel grew, he was presumably killed in the last installment of season 6. Dr. Howard Styles, the resident psychiatrist who checks up on everyone's sanity from time to time, especially Jordan's. He flirts with Jordan, but seems to understand her commitment and abandonment issues very well, and is extremely gentle when counseling her. Roz Framis. She calls Bug Buggles, which Bug hates, and often teases him for being tricky, and about him previously owning Spock is. Emmy works as an assistant in the medical examiner's office. Emmy has appeared in over 20 episodes of the show, starting with Born to Run, the 4th episode of the first season. Ada Jeffrey Brandor, a member of the DA's office who began a romantic relationship with Lily, creating a love triangle of sorts between the two of them and Bug. Lily leaves him at the altar when she finally realizes she has feelings for Bug. He asks her to marry him again after he finds out that she is pregnant with his daughter, Madeline, but she refuses. In real life, Ethan Sandler is married to Kathryn Hahn, who plays Lily, and the baby she was pregnant with was actually their own. He has a cameo role in episode 2 by 5 as a train disaster victim. Dr. Kate Switzer, a medical examiner, and the latest in a long line of antagonists to join the rest of the team in the morgue. Though she has learned to work better with her colleagues, her relationships with the staff, especially Jordan and Garrett, remain strained at best. Although they tend to annoy each other, she sometimes appears to have feelings for Nigel. She has a dandy Dinmont terrier named Binky, and often threatens to feed people's kidneys to him. James Horton, Jordan's illegitimate half-brother, is 6 years older than Jordan. Their mother had an affair with another police officer, a detective named Thomas Malden, but whether he was actually James's father, as Max believed he was never clarified. Max gave up James, who became a criminal. His fingerprint was found at the scene of Jordan's mother's death. He was presumed dead after he jumped into the Charles River, though his body was never recovered. Dr. Devin McGuire, a pathology resident who appeared in 10 episodes, including one in which Jordan did not appear. Though she and Jordan butted heads and often gave the impression they didn't like each other, Devin considered Jordan her friend. Devin was just beginning to develop a close relationship with Woody when she apparently died in a plane crash between Washington, D.C., and Boston in the episode Fire from the Sky. Detective Annie Capra, a female detective, partnered with Woody throughout season 3. Abby Macy, a medical examiner who clashed with Bug over power issues. Sydney also disappeared after season 5's opener. There's No Place Like Home 2. Like Peter above, his name has been mentioned, leading to the assumption he is still working, albeit unseen, at the morgue. J.D. Pollock, a sometimes oily Australian reporter who dated Jordan early in season 5. Their relationship, which had at first been primarily sexual for the most part, got serious enough that J.D. considered proposing, but things were off after Jordan slept with Woody in the episode Loves Me Not. J.D. was found murdered at the end of season 5, and Jordan, falsely accused of his murder, sought to clear his name at the start of season 6. William Ivers, a creepily charming attorney hired in season 6 by the governor's office to investigate any questionable behavior within the morgue, aiming directly at Macy, although Jordan was a brief potential suspect. He disappointingly finds nothing wrong and later targets the morgue's current spending as an open door to major disaster, enforcing a new, strict budget depriving the morgue of much-needed equipment. This loss causes many problems in two important cases and, especially, isolation, with the latter resulting in the new budget being revoked and Ivers's exit. He briefly returns in Dead Again, teaming up with Jordan when a woman presumed murdered from a case Ivers had been prosecuting attorney 6 years prior somehow ends up dead in the morgue. Lois Carver, a no-nonsense detective seen throughout Season 1. She does not appear as frequently in Season 2, is not seen at all in Season 3, and only appears in 2 Season 4 episodes, Deja Past, and Necessary Risks. Eddie Winslow. This detective first appeared in early Season 1, and it was clear that there was tension between him and Jordan. Gradually audiences found out why. Winslow was Max Kavanaugh's last partner on the force, who ratted him out, leading to Max being fired from the Boston Police Department. Eventually both Max and Jordan made their peace with Eddie, and he was well situated to become a strong character. Then his appearances tapered off near the end of Season 1. Minor characters D.A. J. Myers, our district attorney whom Jordan briefly becomes involved with in Season 1. He first appeared in For Harry, with Love and Squalor, in Max's bar as Jordan questioned her love life and began a sexual relationship with him, neither knowing either the other's name or who the other actually was till Jordan appeared as a courtroom witness in, and Myers questioned her during the trial of a case he was prosecuting. He reappears in Someone to Count On, as he comes asking for Jordan's help in prosecuting a 14-year-old girl suspected of killing her mother. Herman Redding, an institutionalized triple murderer who claimed to have knowledge of who killed Emily Kavanaugh, despite the fact that Emily had long since left the hospital by the time he was transferred to it. Redding left clue after clue about Emily for Jordan in Secrets and Lies, PT1, while investigating a series of murders staged to look like suicide, including an envelope with the same phantom fingerprint found in the original investigation. He later breaks his silence to make a deal with Jordan. She is to get him out of there and prove his innocence in exchange for what Jordan wants from him. Louisa Santana, a rising detective in the Boston Police Department who appears in the episode Blue Moon, and again briefly in Family Affair. Presumably, she is still with the force. Oliver Teitelman. He has an unusual obsession with personally beating Drive Macy at his own game. Oliver appears in episodes Devil May Cry and There's No Place Like Home 2. Calvin Coolidge, Cal Hoyt, Woody's younger brother, a recovering alcoholic and drug addict who is frequently in trouble. He is first seen in the Sunset Division spin-off episode. Cal is reintroduced midway into Season 4, with a backstory that paints him as a very charming, but equally troubled, young man with a history of drug abuse, among other things, frequently saddling Woody with the responsibility. Cal not so coincidentally shows up in Skin and Bone, just as a mass grave full of mobsters is uncovered. Arlene Lebowski, Lily's aunt and adoptive mother. She first appears in Don't Look Back, as it is apparent that she and Lily do not have the best of relationships. Arlene reappears in Low Cards Exchange, visiting Lily yet again, but the visit is short-lived as Lily orders her out of her life and moments later, she is mortally wounded in a hit-and-run. As a result, Lily turns over a new leaf, even petitioning the justice system to make sure that the person who hit Arlene, a woman who believed she was her husband's mistress, gets due justice. Elliot Chandler, a detective who pops up for 2 episodes in Season 6. Production. Crossing Jordan was created by Tim Kring and was produced by Tailwind Productions in association with NBC Universal. Singer-songwriter duo Wendy and Lisa scored the music for the show. Eric Rigler's pipes and whistles can be heard in most episodes. The scientific aspects of the show are comparable to CSI, crime scene investigation, but Jordan is more character-driven and less graphic than the CSI franchise. In the first season, Hennessy was the only cast member visible during the opening credits, which featured Eric Wrigley's arrangement of a traditional Irish tune, My Love Is in America. Starting with the second season, the credits showed all the major players and used a more rock-like, less Irish-sounding opening theme. Crossin' Jordan is set in the same fictional universe as fellow NBC series Las Vegas. In the Season 4 episode, What Happens in Vegas Dies in Boston, a case takes Jordan and Woody to Las Vegas, where Woody became very well acquainted with the Montecitos casino host Sam Marquez. They maintained a long-distance relationship for a while. O'Connell appeared in 5 episodes of Las Vegas and Vanessa Marcil appearing as Sam in 2 Crossing Jordan episodes.